They'll serve margaritas over ice cubes in hell before our president is impeached. Pelosi caved into the even farther demented snowflakes on the left, opens a serious can of whoop-ass for Creepy Joe. After he's in jail, the Golden Moo will be nominated, and why not? After all, she owns the DNC, lock, stock, and shithouse. Hello, this is Dave from Net4Truth USA, Whirlwind Revolt. It is September 27th, 2019, and the past 48 hours or so have been taken right out of the old Saturday Night Live or Monty Python's Flying Circus. The Democratic Congress's attempt to impeach Donald Trump is the biggest nothing burger in American history. It has a snowball's chance in hell of ever passing. It is more distraction, more delusion, more obfuscation, and more projection than anything else. And Adam Schiff gets up in front of everybody and just lies to the American people and to anybody who just happens to be listening. And of course, they broadcast this crap on CNN 24/7. And what has happened in the last 24 hours, I believe, is an attempt by the oven mitt fashionista, otherwise known as the Hildebeest or the Golden Moo, to remove Joe Biden from the running, because now he is the front runner for her third attempt at being the president. Watch what happens. Watch, I guarantee you, this is what's happening. We know that Joe Biden's son was employed, and I use in air quotes, by a Ukrainian oil company that was corrupt, and we heard Joe Biden admit that he threatened the president of the Ukraine with withholding $1 billion in U.S. aid if the prosecutor that was looking into corruption of the company that was paying his son $50,000 a month wasn't fired. Watch this.
And I went over for, I guess, the 12th, 13th time to Kyiv, and I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I said, we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I looked, I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a bitch. Got fired. And they put in place someone who was solid.
Now, we've all seen this. Now, if that isn't abuse of authority and outright pay for play, I don't know what is. But CNN doesn't touch that. That's too much of the truth for them. And you have to look at it this way. You're walking down the street with somebody and you get into a conversation. You don't know this person. And in the course of that conversation, you find out this guy's got a whole bunch of money. And, well, you get to a deserted part of the street and you whack him over the head with a rock and you kill him. And you bury him on the side of the road. Then you go and take all his ATM cards and his credit cards and you just max them all out and just take all the money out. And then before you're caught, you call the cops and say, you think something might have happened on such and such a road. You might want to look there. And they got your phone number and your name and your ID when you make the 911 call. And you figured by diverting the investigation, you will not be a person of interest in the case when they finally find this dead and stinking guy on the side of the road. Does it make sense to accuse somebody of doing what you're doing when you're the guy who's doing it? I mean, maybe get somebody else to do it, like the whistleblower. Or get somebody else. Oh, he said this, he said that. But you know what? He never said that. So the whistleblower should go to prison, along with all the people who paid him to blow this whistle. And I've gotten at least 24 phone calls, and I'm hoarse from talking on the phone, about my last 2 videos where I left messages for Skeletor. And I think we all should do that. Just call up and leave a message, tie them up. They're obstructing our president, so why not? We'll obstruct them. We'll tie their phone lines up. We'll tie up their websites. Tie up their Twitter accounts, and just make it hell for them. Because I'm telling you, 2 days from now, on the 29th, I have good information that something is going to happen. Something good for us is going to happen. There's 100,000 sealed indictments ready to be unsealed. And with 100,000 sealed indictments, if the reason that you hold them is so that felon A doesn't know what felon B is indicted for, or that he's even indicted, so the information network that they have, when they pinch one guy, all the other people just disappear from the face of the earth. They got the money, they just deed him out. Take your cash and go. Soros is definitely in Gitmo. That's a fact. Multiple reliable sources. This testicle-faced son of a bitch is in Gitmo right now. And he's being held along with Jeffrey Epstein, who is also still alive. Because that bullshit story about the guards falling asleep and his cameras failing and him hanging himself from a concrete bunk just doesn't wash. That, like they say down south, that dog don't hunt. So when a dog don't hunt, that means there's something that they're not wanting us to know. They don't want us to see. And I think the good guys wouldn't have arrested him to begin with if they didn't have a plan to uncover who was going to whack him. And I got news for you, pal. I would like to see. This is what I would like to see. Bear this out for me. The oven mitt fashionista gets nominated as the Democratic for president. She gets up on the stage with Donald Trump in the debates, and the military and the U.S. Marshals walk in the middle of the questions, and they arrest her for treason in front of God and everybody. Simultaneously, the U.S. military is out arresting all 103,000 of these sons of bitches that they got sealed indictments for the last year and a half now. That would be the ultimate victory, the ultimate anti-coup d'etat, and a big victory for us. And what are they going to do then? Donald Trump ain't going to run for a third time. So he's a lame duck. They can't impeach him because they're down in Gitmo. What are they going to do? Call up the inmate law clerk and say, bring me down one of those manual typewriters and type up these forms for me in triplicate so we can impeach the president from a jail cell in Gitmo? I'd love to see that shit. I mean, the odds of that happening are next to nothing. But what's going to happen is when they lock these people up, the libtards are going to go absolutely batshit. And you're going to have all these snowflakes that don't know what bathroom to use up against the military and up against veterans and up against people who know what they're doing, if you know what I mean. And that'll be the end of them. That'll be the end of them. You want to solve the problems in the United States and across the planet? And I'm talking to the president right now. Mr. President, sir, with all due respect, change the money. Make the U.S. dollar bill as it stands now no longer legal tender. All the cash they have piled up, all the U.S. dollars that they have in these offshore bank accounts in Switzerland and the Bahamas and the Cayman Islands and all those places, isn't going to be worth a lit fart in a wool mitten. Do away with the Federal Reserve Bank. We don't owe them shit. Do away with the income tax. Do away with property taxes. Make property taxes unconstitutional. And while you're at it, while you're sitting there writing executive orders, make the executive order that you wrote about college campuses' freedom of speech apply to all these social media platforms as well. Arrest their CEOs for sedition, treason, and election tampering, and pass the Everybody's Strapping Act. Give every citizen in the United States that's a taxpayer over 18 a $300 tax credit to go and buy a weapon. This shit would end immediately. They wouldn't know what the fuck to do. And this is what I would do. If I was sitting behind a resolute desk, I ain't playing. I ain't playing your goddamn bullshit, political bullshit games. I'd just arrest the whole goddamn lot of yous. I'll let you bitch from Gitmo. And send you in there with Osama bin Bubula. And he'll use you instead of a goat. Man, I tell you, these last 2 days I've been on the phone almost constantly. And people are really pissed off at the Skeletor. Percocet Pelosi. And with all, I mean, what have they done? For the last 3 years, they've done nothing. They've passed no legislation. They haven't gotten anything done except waste $50 million of the taxpayers' money chasing what they knew was a bullshit story from the get-go. If I was Donald Trump, I would sue them all. I would sue them for libel, for slander, and I would make them pay out of their own pockets all the money that was spent on this bullshit Russiagate investigation. Pay it out of their own pockets. And while I'm at it, how about sending the IRS in and seeing where Nancy Pelosi and all these other bitches got their money from? How about that? Obama did it to all the conservatives back in the day. I'm not even going to lower myself to call him like everybody does. They respect the office and they call him President Obama. This motherfucker was never the president. He is a deep state operative, sheep-dipped. Nobody knows where he came from. His birth certificate is a forgery. And he's a Muslim tied in with ISIS, along with Umar Abedin and those people. And they sold the United States to China. They sold our intelligence. They sold our military secrets. They sold our intellectual property all to the Chinese. And they got money for it. Money that, when it changes, isn't going to be worth a lit fart in a wool mitten. Send these people where they belong before they die of natural causes and before the patriots in this country are pushed to the boiling point and some shit that you don't want to happen jumps off in this country. This is Dave from Net4 Truth USA Whirlwind Revolt. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your support. See you tomorrow. Please subscribe to our backup channels, Whirlwind Revolt, Inglorious Patriots, and Net4 Truth USA 2 Patriot channel. You can also find us at Net4 Truth USA on BitChute. We fly so close to the target, we're on our 4th fighter jet. We will be relentless truth seekers until the enemies of freedom are defeated. You can support this channel by using the links in the description. But for a $100 donation, I will personally send you a autographed hardcover special edition copy of Land of Childhood's Fears. Also, visit my bookstore at lulu.com/Net4Truth USA. If you are viewing this video on BitChute, you can use the links in the description to support us, or simply click the green $ dot on our video to support this channel. Thank you. Links are in the description section.